2020 is almost over, but that's not going to stop me from putting out one more video before the start of 2021. And the final topic I'll be covering is what game I think Nintendo should remake in 2021. And you guys are probably asking, what game do I think Nintendo is going to remake in 2021? I'll answer that question in a bit, but first I'm going to talk about the remakes that I have played. So to start things off, what are video game remakes? Video game remakes are video game remakes. That was short. Okay, there's more info. Most video game remakes, at least the ones that I have played, are good. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is a remake of the Game Boy game that I have never played. But I have played the Switch remake and it's very good. The visuals are glorious and the gameplay is the same fun Zelda gameplay you probably know of. The other remake that I have played was SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. This game, when it came out, did not get positive reviews, so I have no damn clue what encouraged me to get it. And I do not know why, but I was surprised that this remake was actually pretty good in my opinion. I just found its gameplay to be pretty fun, but kind of unpolished. But keep in mind that I played this game months ago, and maybe the developers improved it over time, but I'm just talking about it when it was still a new game back in June and how it felt unpolished then. Just don't know why I picked up a SpongeBob game. Now on to the main question. What video game would I want Nintendo to remake? There are literally hundreds of games from their past, and they could remake. Perhaps a GameCube title like Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, or maybe something like Donkey Kong 94, or maybe a Wii game. Ah, damn it! I ruined the surprise. So yeah, Donkey Kong 94 would be a video game remake that I'd want Nintendo to actually develop. But why though? Because this game is fantastic and is honestly my favorite handheld game ever made. And for a game that came out in 1994 for the Game Boy, it still holds up very well in my opinion. The only thing about the game that aged is obviously the visuals and the sound effects, especially Pauline's, but honestly it can't be as bad as Mario Land's though. How Nintendo would update the visuals. I don't think Nintendo should use the same graphics as Link's Awakening, not because it doesn't look good, it looks beautiful, but I don't necessarily think it would look good for a game like Donkey Kong. And to be honest, I don't even know what kind of visuals Nintendo would use, but as long as it looks good, I don't care. And as for the core gameplay and level design, do not change a thing. The gameplay is so much fun with Mario's full moveset at your disposal with the backflip and the handstand, which is something Mario really doesn't do nowadays. And let me tell you that I would buy this game just for that alone. And now as for the level design, I think this is where this game shines the brightest in my opinion. You actually start this adventure in the 4 levels from the original Donkey Kong arcade game, which would mean that this is basically just a Game Boy version of the arcade classic. I mean, it kinda is, but at the same time it isn't. But right when you think you actually beat DK, rescued Pauline, and finished the game, you actually didn't, and now this 4-level adventure expands to a 90-something level puzzle platformer. Now keep in mind that I am absolutely terrible at puzzles, and you'd think that for someone who is terrible at them, this game might not be fun for me. And while some puzzles in the game are more challenging than others, I found the puzzles in the game to be very enjoyable. The main objective in each level is to find a key somewhere and bring it to a key door to progress onto the next level and rescue Pauline from DK. I know I made it sound like you're just going to the opposite side of the level to get a key and bring it back, which, let's be honest, you basically are, but it's a lot more complex than that. Getting to the key is the first challenge. You have to avoid different obstacles like enemies, conveyor belts, the wind, and even Donkey Kong Jr. Finally. And you'll utilize bridges and ladders to get further into the levels. And once you actually reach the key, your final challenge is to now bring it back with you. You could actually throw the key to defeat enemies and even put it on a conveyor belt to bring it to the door. But the problem though is that if you leave the key by itself for a few seconds, it'll disappear and go back to the spot it was originally in. And not to mention that the key could be found in pretty high places. And if you fall from high places, Mario will either fall on his face and get stunned for a few seconds, or he straight up falls on his head and suffers a concussion. Ouch. And considering that Mario is hitting his head on stuff like rocks and girders, how is this man still alive? But outside of the regular levels, there's also the boss fights against DK. These levels are essentially you reaching the top of the level, much like in the arcade game, and there's also the other bosses where you have to throw stuff at DK, and these are pretty neat too. And as for the final boss, Donkey Kong turns giant because, of course he does, and he tries to use those giant hands of his to crush Mario. But ultimately, he fails. Not a bad way to end off a great adventure. And the ending is even better. It's basically a build-up to Donkey Kong Jr., and that's just amazing. What also makes this game cool is all the different worlds you'll go to. You'll start off in the big city, and I don't care how many years apart this is from Super Mario Odyssey. This is totally New Donk City. Nobody's fooling me with this. Then later on, you'll reach worlds like the jungle, a pirate ship, airplane, and even an iceberg. There's a ton of variety here, and I admire a ton of it. And that concludes Donkey Kong 94, or Donkey Kong Game Boy, or whatever you want to call it. Honestly, with 2021 on the horizon and a whole new batch of games from Nintendo coming, I'd say that it'd be the best time to remake this amazing game, especially with Donkey Kong turning 40 as well. But if we don't get a remake of this game, perhaps a new Donkey Kong game, that'd be pretty awesome. And that's going to conclude my final video of 2020. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Now I'm going to talk about my plans for 2021. So, next year, my plan is to upload more frequently. I don't have a specific schedule for when I want to upload, but I do want to upload more frequently. I want to put out more videos than I did in 2020 because this year I only uploaded like 7 or 8 videos, which isn't very many, honestly. And all the videos I did put out this year were all Nintendo related. So in 2021, I want to put out at least some videos that are not with games that are not made by Nintendo. Maybe like Sonic or something like that. Just to like add a little variety to the channel. And again, I don't have a specific schedule for when I want to upload. But I do want to upload more frequently though, so keep that in mind. And if you do want to watch my videos when they go out in 2021, then please consider subscribing. I'm not the biggest fan of asking people to subscribe, but like sometimes I'll say it, sometimes I'll just say it. So you know, like if you want to like watch my videos when they go out in 2021, then please consider subscribing. And yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Once again, I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your year, and have a good New Year's, and I will see you in 2021.